Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Now, the third part of the geometric design. And obviously, we know in this part, we will discuss about the vertical alignment and the cross sections. So we start with the vertical alignment. Vertical alignment means the setting about vertical curve. For that, for setting a vertical curve, we have to draw a profile. This is how we do it. We had this alignment, you can see on the red, and for this study, actually for this explanation, I've made profile at every 500 meter because it happens to be uh, 5 kilometers, so I felt it easy to have 500 meters interval. Now, how I draw this, find this value is simply I extend this line to my center line, and whatever is the value of contour is my elevation. So I've this elevation, this line is intersecting this, my elevation will be different here. And last but not least, my last line is intersecting the last point, so my elevation is 430 meters. This is how we draw our elevation, and you can see from this drawing, once we have drawn this profile, and that the above one is we called the ground level, and I on that I've drawn my finished road level in this manner, uh, because we all know that in order to have a better vertical alignment, we have to balance the cut and fill. As you can see, if you can imagine that this elevation, my finished road level is this value, is this point, and my ground level is this point. So I have to cut this section, and there will be some filling as here as well. It may not be shown very pronouncedly, but it is very understood. So once we draw, I have taken for this sample, we have taken two curves, actually, one vertical curve, just to explain the vertical curve. So I've taken the center line. So this is my VPI, and the slope, the difference of elevation at this point and this point, multiplied by 100 will give me the value of grade 1, that is negative. And the difference elevation from this point to this point, I have a positive value. So this G1, negative G1, when drawn is positive G1, this curve is known as sag curve. From our previous definition, we know that this thing, when the negative value joins positive grade value, will have a curve. This curve is known as the vertical sag curve. So in order to, since we know there is a vertical curve, we would like to know the length of the curve. The length of curve is simply given by this formula k times a. Well, k is the vector that is dependent upon the height of the driver, the height of the object, mainly sight distance, and obviously all sight distance is dependent upon the speed. So for that, once you know your speed, you can always find k as from table 3-37. For since our speed was 120 kilometers per hour, so our k value is 63. And a is nothing, but you have to add the grade value irrespective of the sign, whether it's positive, both are negative, one negative, one positive. So you just have to add those grades. So for this example, our length of the sag curve is simply 63 that you got from the table. A, you add 1 at 6.4, you get 7.4, and that's why this is the minimum curve length that is to be provided for this alignment and it is 476 meter. So once you know this thing, you already know the value of PVI, and for this, since you know the value of PVI, you will know the you have to check now you for PVI, you know PVI, you know the PVI elevation, you know the length of the curve. As you make it to be an equal tangent curve, you can always find the point of commencement of the vertical curve, point of termination of the vertical curve. You can find the lowest point of the curve and all those relevant data that you need for setting out a vertical curve. One thing is there is one more check. You have to see that none of your PI values of horizontal curve should meet the PVI value of a vertical curve. So when you are taking the center or taking this PVI section of the vertical curve, obviously it was in your hand. You have to make it sure they don't coincide with any PI values of the horizontal curve. Because, when we have a PI value, it means the maximum curvature is there. So you should not provide a maximum curvature with the maximum change in vertical elevation of the vertical curve. That's why you have this check. So remember, for for setting out, for finalizing your alignment, you have to make sure two things. The PT1 of the first curve should differ by PC1 of the second curve with 100 meter at least, and the PIs of any of the curves should not be same as PVI of the vertical curve. So these two are the check before finalizing the alignment. You know why we separate 100 meter? I failed to forget, but I forgot to tell you while you were discussing horizontal alignment, because there we need the super elevation attainment, and that I've told you to go by my videos. So that's why we need at least 100 meters, because you need to attain the super elevation. Now, once you have done this, the next thing we'll have to have a cross sections. For cross section, this is your alignment, and for every 500 meters, you will have this cross sections line. Now, remember, and how to draw cross section is very simple. You see, for instance, I have to draw cross section of this point, cross section of my road width. You see, the elevation at the center will be 295 meter, because this is intersecting the 295 meter. The elevation on the left hand side, I say left hand side because I'm moving from A to B. So this is my left hand side, this is my right hand side. So elevation of my left hand side is not known to me, but it lies between 300 meter and 295 meters. So it will be around 297.5 meter. And this is 100 meter length. And on the right hand side, again, the elevation of this point is between 290 to 295 meters. So for the sake of simplicity, I've taken this is 290.5 meter, 292.5 meter. So you have the cross section like this. On the left hand side, 297 meter. On the center, it was 295 meter. On the right, this is 100 meters. So for each of the station, we'll have these cross section values. So I'll stop here, and this is all about my geometric design of highways. It's a refresher course for all who want to learn geometric design of highway before going into the software itself. Thank you very much for the patience. Take care, and inshallah, I will have more videos for other topic as well.